Hey, welcome to Uncle Tim's farm. I'm Uncle Tim, and today I've got some stumps to clear. I've got to get rid of all this brush and brambles that have grown up around. We haven't been able to brush mow this because of the stumps being in the way. So it's got all overgrown with blackberry and all kinds of other stuff. It's a mess all the way, well, just to right there where those trees are. So I got myself little tool here to take care of the job today. It's the Kubota KX080-5. I've only been running it about 5 minutes, just trying to get myself familiar. It's been a long time since I ran an excavator, and it was nowhere near this size. It was a little bitty, probably 2 or 3 ton little bitty thing. This here's a 8, well, they call it an 8 ton, but it's really closer to 20,000 pounds. But anyhow, so I'm going to be running this thing. I rented it for a week, so I've got all week to get used to it and figure it out, trying to get familiar with the controls and everything. But get all this brush cleared out, pull a bunch of stumps that are in there and over there, and then maybe start taking down some of the smaller trees along the edge of the pasture that they're starting to encroach. The pasture keeps getting smaller and smaller, maybe knock some branches off. But anyhow, like I said, I've got the whole week to run this thing, figure it out. Well, I got my first stump pulled. Pretty healthy root system, even though those have been there for 6-7 years, just sitting there. Took a little bit of digging, but I got it out. Too shabby. Got it dug up out of there. Need some cleaning up, dressing up there. And then there's my next stump right here, right down there, stump. And then there's some more down through there. There's an old fence post sitting there. I'll drag out of there. But keep on working down the line here. It's slow going for me because, like I said, I'm not experienced running this thing at all. But slowly getting the hang of it. Alright, well, here's the end of my first day. Put several of these old stumps. I work pretty slow because, like I said, I'm very inexperienced with running one of these. Pulled out some old logs. Pulled out a bunch of blackberries and brambles. Small cypress tree. Lots of grapevines. Some more stumps. An old log. A few small trees. So this area here, you used to not be able to get through or bush hog because of all these big stumps poking up. But now we'll be able to just drive right on up through there and bush hog, get into that small pasture there. Same over on this side. They're just getting so overgrown because we weren't able to get in there and bush hog. So it's not real pretty work, but I'm slowly getting the hang of operating that thing. It works better than I do for sure. But anyhow, I'll just keep at it. I got a whole week to run it, like I said. Hopefully by the end of the week I'll be pretty comfortable operating it. Alright, there's the end of day one. Alright, well, I got a tree down, dug up the roots, pushed it over. Let me tell you, these things have some crazy roots on them. Look at the size of that. These things are humongous, and they go far. This was It's quite a chore to get that stump out of the ground. Took a lot of digging on all different sides. Trying to get all those roots broken and get that thing yanked out of there. I can't imagine trying to do that with a smaller machine than this. I know it can be done, but boy, it would sure take a long time. It wasn't easy for this machine here to get it done. Although, like I said before, I'm not an experienced operator, so somebody who knows what they're doing probably could have done it a lot quicker than me, but I finally got it out. Got the tree cut up and mostly pushed in the ditch. I'll come over and get the rest of it pushed in there and then burn that later on. But I'm gonna clean up this bank over here. All these trees growing in here, and then they cause erosion. Got a big bank that just drops off right in here. It's hard to see because of all the weeds, but got that level of pasture up there, and then it drops down and there's this ditch that runs right through here. All these trees. Not a big fan of that in a spot like this. Some people think they control erosion, but from my experience it looks like they cause more erosion than anything where their roots are. Just washes. Keeps washing and washing. Be a lot less erosion. They can get these trees out and then smooth this bank off. Anyhow, I'll keep on working. I'm not sure if I'll cut this tree down. I'm thinking I might cut this tree down and then pull the stump. This first one, because I had access on 3 sides, I was able to dig the roots out, but this one being up on that bank and then got this tree right next to it. I don't know if I'll have good access to it or not. It's got a lot of weight leaning out that direction. Although I'm not a big fan of cutting these hackberry trees. They're brittle and messy. So I don't know what I'll do. We'll see. Anyhow, got that one giant stump out. So machine's working good. Just keep on going. Well, I just took down another, well, it's 2 trees actually. They were connected here. Made me a little nervous pushing them together. I didn't know if one was gonna try to go without the other one, but thankfully they stayed together. 2 completely different kinds of trees. Anyhow, got it pushed over and the cows are in here cleaning up on the leaves. Because these trees got deep roots, they pull up all kinds of minerals into their leaves that the grass can't reach. So the cows just love these tree leaves. But this was that's a big old root ball right there. Whew. That's probably 8 feet across at least. And probably that tall. Man, that's a big old root ball. Oof, that's going to be heavy. Yikes. Well, these 2 trees, here's another 2 trees growing together. I'd like to push them over, but they got a real bad lean back this way, and the fence is right there. I don't know that I can. They're small enough, I might be able to push them over in this direction, get them to fall that way. Although that other one's got its branches crisscrossed with the neighboring tree, so that's kind of a mess. I might have to push that one down first before I can do anything with these. But this here is going to keep me busy for a while, cleaning all the dirt off of it, and then once the cows are done feasting on the leaves, I'll go ahead and cut that up and move it down to the pile over there, the burn pile. Alright, get back at it. Well, I got all the big stumps pushed in this pit. That last stump right there, that bugger was heavy. I picked it up with the excavator earlier and I was faced backwards, and as I swung to the side, the excavator started to tip, so I had to drop the boom real quick to keep from tipping over. So I just left it sitting there, and then I came and grabbed it with the tractor and the grapple, and then just barely picked it off the, it really wasn't off the ground, and then I drug it backwards all the way down here, that tractor, because it was too heavy to even lift with the tractor. And then I set it here up on the bank, and then just kind of rolled it down here and then pushed it in. I didn't try to pick it up, I just pushed it in the pit. But got all the big stumps put in there. There's a few smaller ones left to do, and then I need to go back up and clean up that bank where I was cutting up the trees. But thankfully I got this is the hard part. It's done now.